Hello, my credit card seems to be missing from my wallet. Do you know anything about it? Eh? Has it already been found out? I thought it wouldn't be noticed for a while since you're elderly, but this was unexpected, haha. Wait a minute. So, the $50,000 that was used without my permission, it was all spent by you. It's just that it was my wife's birthday, so I used it a bit. We're staying in a grand suite at a super luxury hotel, you know? It costs $10,000 per night for 5 days. It's amazing. Well, I'm thinking of going to another country, so see ya, haha. Hey, wait a minute. 30 years ago, I divorced my husband and have since raised my sons on my own. While my younger son still supports me as an adult, my eldest son is the complete opposite. Recently, he stole my credit card and spent $50,000 at a luxury hotel. I felt he had no human decency, committing almost criminal acts. I've raised my eldest son with all my effort, supporting him in various ways even after he became an adult. But now, I no longer consider him my son. 2 minutes later, I did something and then called my eldest son's wife. Hello, you're with your son, right? I just contacted the credit card company and had the card stopped. Also, I'll be consulting the police about the theft and misuse. After informing my eldest son's wife, I hung up and immediately blocked their calls. They must be panicking now, their faces pale. I wonder how they plan to spend their time there now that the credit card is blocked. They were considering going to another country, so they probably don't have tickets for the return flight either. Trouble is inevitable. Then, a week later, the two of them ended up apologizing to me on their knees, haha. I am a 65-year-old woman living alone in Florida. I divorced my husband 30 years ago and raised my 2 sons single-handedly. Though I worked until my retirement, I'm now enjoying a quiet life. I'm home. Here, I bought your favorite sweets. Oh. Thank you. You didn't have to go out of your way. Even after moving out, my younger son often comes to visit. He works at a white-collar job and can return home on time. He's unmarried, so he spends evenings and sometimes stays overnight if the next day is off. It's not that he hasn't grown independent, he just worries about me living alone. I always feel grateful for his kindness. However, I don't welcome my eldest son and his wife much when they occasionally visit. Hey, can you lend me some money? It's our wedding anniversary next week, and we want to go on a domestic trip. So, I need money. If you need money, why don't you use your savings? I don't earn enough to have savings, do I? You live in a nice apartment and bought a car, so isn't that self-inflicted? Please. I'll definitely repay you. Don't nag so much. Since starting to live alone after graduating from university, my eldest son has been borrowing money from me frequently. After getting married, the amount increased significantly, and I don't remember him ever repaying me. I didn't want to lend money to someone who couldn't keep promises. That was my true feeling. Though a parent and child, promises must be kept as individuals. I don't remember raising someone who doesn't understand that, but he ended up being an adult begging for his parents' money. However, I had received a considerable amount from my retirement fund and was doing personal investments, so I wasn't financially struggling. Honestly, I didn't want to lend money, but if my son was really in trouble, as a mother, I would end up lending it. It's no good. I thought I needed to be stricter, but every time my eldest son asked, I lent him money. Then, one day, I have something to discuss. Actually, I caused a traffic accident and need a significant amount of money. But, we don't have that much savings. They said they'll sue us if we don't pay. What? A traffic accident. Well, I've been working a lot to repay the money I borrowed from you, Mom. Seems like I was too tired. I was momentarily shocked by the word traffic accident, but first, I was just relieved that these two were unharmed. Indeed, I had been pressuring him to repay the money, which might have stressed him. Well, it's not my fault, but I felt a bit responsible. And, unlike before, when the eldest son and his wife asked for money for themselves, this time it was an emergency. They had no choice but to pay the money. Understood. I'll prepare it right away. How much do you need? $30,000. Huh? $30,000. Such a huge amount. They must be overcharging. Though damages can amount to a significant sum, considering how the eldest son and his wife are unharmed, it couldn't have been a major accident. Perhaps it was an accident with someone they shouldn't have messed with, but still, there's no way I'm paying such a large sum easily. That's a huge amount, isn't it strange? Why are you being charged that much? The other party was driving a really expensive car, and the repair costs seemed to be massive. What about insurance? You should use that. No, I don't have voluntary insurance, so it's all on us. What about compulsory automobile liability insurance? I have that, but it won't cover everything, right? Anyway, I'm in trouble if I don't pay this amount. Can you help me out? The eldest son and his wife said this and asked for my help. It was the first time they had ever been so humble and in such a dire situation. I guess I had no choice. We are family, and I must help if they are in trouble. I sighed, but I felt that way. All right. I'll prepare it. Make sure to repay me, okay? Got it. Thank you. I prepared the money with the promise of repayment, but since then, I hadn't heard from my eldest son and his wife. A week passed, and I started to wonder why they hadn't contacted me about the accident. I was out shopping for the first time in a while, and when I went to pay, I noticed 3 of my credit cards were missing from my wallet. It can't be true. Could it be a burglary? I hadn't touched this wallet recently, and it's impossible that I left it somewhere. There were no signs of a break-in, and the cash in the wallet was intact. What on earth was going on? Anyway, something very bad might have happened. I panicked, but then realized that I hadn't touched my wallet or left the house in the past week. The only visitors were my eldest son and his wife. Thinking it might be them, I immediately contacted my eldest son. Hello. Ah. Is it a good time now? Hee. Time? Well, it's fine, but it's rare for you to call, Mom. This cheerful tone, is he drunk? He should be busy with the accident, but drinking in the middle of the day, what is he thinking? I got angry. Are you by any chance drinking? Not really. So, what's the matter? Do you know about my credit cards? They're not in my wallet. Ah, so it's been found out. I thought you wouldn't notice for a longer time. It was sooner than I expected, haha. What does that mean? Could it be that my eldest son and his wife stole from my wallet without permission? Isn't that the same as being a thief? I didn't want to believe it, but anyone would think the same after hearing my eldest son's words. Indeed, with no signs of a break-in, I knew the eldest son and his wife were suspicious, but I never thought it would be revealed this easily. I was unable to process the situation for a moment, but my eldest son continued talking. Just borrowed some money. You know, your credit card is quite usable, right? We're overseas for my wife's birthday, staying in a top-class suite room, haha. The total cost, including travel expenses, is $50,000. It's the best to indulge in luxury with someone else's money, don't have to worry about anything, haha. This can't be my eldest son. Someone crazy must be pretending to be him on the phone. I wanted to believe that from the bottom of my heart. However, the person I was talking to was undoubtedly my eldest son himself, showing a side of himself I had never seen in over 30 years. I was heartbroken, unable to speak from the shock of being betrayed by family. Why would you betray me like this? Weren't we a family? My son, oblivious to my feelings, seemed to be laughing happily. Using someone else's credit card without permission. Do you think that's okay? You should know the difference between right and wrong. What about the money I lent for the accident? You haven't returned it, no report, no repayment, and on top of that, you steal someone's card. That's just wrong as a human being. I blurted out these words from my heart to my eldest son. Please, just apologize. Even one word of apology might make me feel like forgiving my eldest son. That's what I hoped in my heart. However, the response I got was not from my son. With all due respect, you have quite a lot of savings, don't you? So, isn't it okay to let us use a little? Money is meant to be spent, not saved. That's why. Having a smart wife is really great. Anyway, we're going to enjoy ourselves now, so don't contact us anymore. With that, my eldest son hung up the phone. A smart wife. What does that mean? Could it be that not my son, but his wife planned all this? If that's the case, the story changes a bit. My son is still family, but as for my daughter-in-law, this is a crime, isn't it? Credit card sharing is not allowed even among family members. What are they thinking? Only anger remained in me, and it took some time to calm down and think rationally. But I had a rough idea of what was going on, so I had a plan. I hung up and called again 2 minutes later. This time, the call was to my eldest son's wife. Hello? What is it? We're on vacation, didn't we say not to contact us? This is out of kindness that I'm calling you. Don't you think that attitude is inappropriate? Kindness? The credit cards that were stolen and misused have been reported to the company and stopped. Don't panic when you can't use them anymore. I said that clearly to my eldest son's wife. Credit card lending is not allowed, and this is outright misuse. Did they think I would just let it slide? If so, that's incredibly foolish. Wait a minute. What do you mean you stopped the credit cards? If you do that, we can't make any payments. It's misuse, I can't just leave it be. I haven't done anything wrong, have I? How are we supposed to get home without a return ticket? Contact the credit card company now and make the cards usable again. Is this the attitude of someone in trouble? If they really needed money, they could have humbly asked like they did with the accident. Can't they do that after revealing their true nature? I was already past anger and felt nothing but disdain for the two, but I hung up the phone. Then, I blocked both of their calls and, temporarily, blocked them on Messenger and other contact methods as well. I didn't even want to talk or see such people. No matter how much they begged, I wasn't going to help them. After that, I contacted my younger son and told him that I might cause him trouble. A week later. Hello? About my brother and his wife, well, I paid the money for them, so they are coming back. But they might be holding a grudge against you, Mom. Understood. If they come to the house, I'll handle it, don't worry. Well, considering that foolish couple, it's quite possible they are blaming me for their own actions. I felt sorry for causing trouble to my younger son, so when they returned, I planned to make them see hell. That's what I thought while waiting for their return. The next day, as expected, they came to my place. Hey. Do you have any idea how much trouble we went through because of you? What do you think family is for? Stranded abroad, unable to do anything, have you ever thought about how we felt? As soon as they arrived at my house, they started barking at me like dogs. I realized yet again that stupid people can only shout insults. They should have logically built up their argument to somehow assert their righteousness. I knew they had no intention of apologizing, but I wished they at least tried that. Really. All you can do is bark, just like dumb dogs. Well, I didn't expect much from you anyway. For now, choose either to be reported to the police or to make a lump sum repayment, okay? Huh? Police? What are you talking about? Yeah, cut it out. You stopped our credit cards on your own and caused us trouble, so you should be the one taking responsibility. What do they eat to become so crazy? In my over 60 years of life, I never thought I'd meet such people at the end. But I was serious. You know, when someone who isn't the cardholder uses a credit card, it's considered fraud against the credit card company, right? Even among family, lending and borrowing cards is prohibited. If I report this to the police, it's you who will be in trouble, right? I'm saying I'll forgive you if you repay everything at once. You should be grateful, shouldn't you? How can you say that? Don't you understand we're financially struggling right now? Ah, the car accident story? I know that's a lie, and I'll be claiming that money too. Huh? As I said this, both of them opened their eyes and mouths wide in surprise. Even a dog wouldn't make such a stupid face. I chuckled inwardly. If they thought nothing would be revealed, they were gravely mistaken. I wish they would stop underestimating me. The traffic accident. How did you? After the phone call about the credit card, I immediately told your younger brother everything. He said you've been living quite lavishly lately. Also, he said your car hadn't been in an accident. His house is near yours, so he went to check right away, and your car was there. That guy, sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. So, the story that time was all a lie, huh? Well, I might not be able to sue my son, but as for my daughter-in-law, who isn't my family, I can sue her for fraud, you know? As I said this, the eldest son's wife looked around nervously, clearly flustered. Did she finally realize the gravity of what she had done? If so, it's too late, and the fact that she didn't even apologize disgusted me. Both of them just looked down in silence, without a single word of apology. I continued speaking, thinking about how they were really beyond common sense. Anyway, I want the money repaid in full, and if you can't do that, I'll report you to the police. Of course, I'll make sure you won't inherit any of my savings, and I'll officially cut ties with you. Wait a minute. We're family, aren't we? You don't have to be so harsh. It was just a folly of youth. Huh? At your age, don't give me such ridiculous excuses. If you think that's going to work, should I actually report you to the police? It might be a good experience for you to learn about the harshness of the world. I was infuriated by this attitude of making excuses until the very end, hoping to be forgiven. Please don't make me any angrier. All I ask from you two is to sever ties and repay the money. That's it. With those words, I kicked them out of the house. They tried to contact me several times after that, but I completely ignored them. Then they came to my house again, trying to apologize, but there was no way I would accept it at this point. I contacted a lawyer immediately and had them discuss the repayment. Finally, the eldest son and his wife agreed to repay me. Look, I really am sorry, and I promise to repay the money, but could we do it in installments? It's just too much to pay back $80,000 all at once. That's obviously impossible. Why don't you just take out a loan? Sell your car, your beloved brand items, that way you can come up with the money quickly, right? Don't make me angrier, okay? Of course, I would never agree to installments, and their taking a loan was none of my concern. They begged through the lawyer many times, but I never accepted. Eventually, the eldest son and his wife had to take out personal loans, and for the amount they couldn't cover, they even resorted to loan sharks. They lost almost all of their possessions, not just the car, and now the eldest son's wife has to work too. They live a life where they can only pay the interest every month. The two of them, once drowned in money, are now struggling, being controlled by it. I don't know how long this will continue, but this is the result of their own actions. It's too late for regrets, and they should feel this pain for the rest of their lives. As for me, I am enjoying my life alone. Life isn't just about money, we must live without being misled by it.